The origin of life on Earth remains one of the greatest mysteries in the scientific community. How did inanimate molecules transform into living organisms? This question has perplexed scientists for centuries, spawning numerous theories and ongoing research. The prevailing theory, known as abiogenesis, suggests that life arose from simple organic compounds that formed on the primordial Earth. But what were the conditions that allowed this to occur? Around 3.8 billion years ago, our planet was a very different place. Volcanoes spewed gases into a thick atmosphere, while oceans were teeming with chemical compounds. Researchers believe that lightning strikes, UV radiation, or even hydrothermal vents may have catalyzed the formation of amino acids and simple sugars, the building blocks of life. In 1953, Stanley Miller and Harold Urey conducted a groundbreaking experiment that simulated these conditions. They created an apparatus that mixed water, methane, ammonia, and hydrogen, simulating early Earth's atmosphere. After a week, they discovered amino acids, the fundamental components of proteins, had formed. This experiment sparked a wave of interest in abiogenesis, but it left many questions unanswered. For instance, how did these simple amino acids evolve into complex biomolecules necessary for life? One hypothesis known as the RNA world suggests that ribonucleic acid, RNA, played a critical role as the first self-replicating molecule. This theory proposes that primitive RNA molecules could replicate themselves, eventually leading to the emergence of life forms. However, the exact mechanism of this transition is still hotly debated among scientists. In modern research, scientists are still trying to recreate the conditions that might have led to life. A recent study published in the journal Nature demonstrated that RNA could spontaneously form under conditions mimicking early Earth. This exciting finding provides further evidence supporting the RNA world hypothesis. Despite the advances in understanding the origins of life, significant gaps remain. For example, how did the first cells form? What about the transition from single-celled to multicellular organisms? These are questions that keep researchers awake at night. As we peel back the layers of this mystery, we begin to realize that the story of life is not just about survival, it's about an intricate web of interactions that span the entire planet. The quest to understand our origins is an ongoing journey. Every new discovery brings us closer to unlocking the secrets of how life began. What if we could one day synthesize life in a lab? The possibilities are endless. But for now, the question lingers: how did it all begin? What lies beyond the veil of our understanding? Imagine a time when the oceans erupted with life, a burst of innovation and diversity unlike anything ever witnessed before. This epoch, known as the Cambrian explosion, occurred approximately 541 million years ago. During a relatively short geological period, a wide array of complex organisms emerged, marking a critical juncture in evolutionary history. But what triggered this remarkable event? Prior to the Cambrian explosion, life on Earth was predominantly simple, single-celled organisms. Fossils from this period are scarce, creating a challenge for paleontologists attempting to piece together the evolutionary timeline. However, the sudden appearance of more complex organisms in the fossil record raises intriguing questions. What catalyzed this rapid evolution? Several theories have been proposed. One leading idea is the increase in oxygen levels in the atmosphere and oceans. Studies indicate that photosynthetic cyanobacteria began producing significant amounts of oxygen, which may have provided the necessary environment for larger and more complex organisms to thrive. Another theory points to ecological changes, such as the development of predation. The first predators, like the infamous Anomalocaris, emerged during this period. Their presence likely drove evolutionary changes, leading to an arms race between predators and prey. Creatures began developing hard shells, advanced appendages, and unique body plans. Understanding these evolutionary arms races gives us insight into the mechanisms that drive biodiversity. The Cambrian explosion also provides a glimpse into the concept of evolutionary innovation. Fossils such as trilobites and early vertebrates showcase the incredible experiments of nature, refining designs that would shape life for eons to come. One of the most baffling aspects of the Cambrian explosion is the phenomenon known as the Cambrian paradox. It highlights the question, how could such rapid diversification occur in the absence of major environmental changes? The fossil record shows no evidence of climatic upheavals or extinctions that typically drive evolutionary change. Instead, it seems to be a burst of creativity within life's blueprint. Fossil sites such as the Burgess Shale in Canada have yielded extraordinary insights into this period. The preservation of soft-bodied organisms allows researchers to explore how various body plans evolved and diversified. Some of these life forms remain mysterious, challenging our understanding of what it means to be an animal. The discovery of new fossils continues to shed light on this enigmatic chapter of our evolutionary history. The Cambrian explosion is not merely a historical curiosity, it's a reflection of the dynamic processes that shape biodiversity. As we seek to unravel its secrets, we must consider what lessons it holds about resilience, creativity, and the unexpected pathways that evolution can take. But just as we think we're starting to understand this vital moment, more mysteries beckon us down the path of inquiry. Why do unrelated species sometimes exhibit strikingly similar traits? This intriguing phenomenon, known as evolutionary convergence, has puzzled scientists for years. It showcases how different organisms can evolve similar solutions to analogous problems, despite their distinct evolutionary paths. Take, for instance, the striking similarities between dolphins and ichthyosaurs. These two groups of animals, one modern and the other extinct, inhabit vastly different times in history yet share streamlined bodies and similar adaptations for life in the water. How can such similarities arise in completely unrelated species? The most famous example of convergence involves bats and birds. Both have developed the ability to fly, yet their anatomical structures and evolutionary histories are vastly different. Bats are mammals with wings evolved from their forelimbs, while birds are reptiles with feathers guiding their flight. This raises profound questions about the nature of evolution. Is there a limited set of solutions to life's challenges? If so, are these solutions preordained by the laws of physics and biology? Research suggests that environmental pressures play a crucial role in shaping evolution. When faced with similar challenges, such as predation or the need for mobility, organisms can independently arrive at similar adaptations. Another fascinating aspect of evolutionary convergence is the occurrence of certain traits appearing across diverse environments. For example, the evolution of the eye has happened multiple times through different pathways. From simple light-sensitive cells to complex camera-like eyes, this critical adaptation has arisen in various species, including cephalopods and vertebrates. What does this tell us about the adaptability of life? The study of convergence not only deepens our understanding of evolution but also highlights the shared challenges all organisms face. As we explore more examples, the question arises, how might these patterns inform conservation efforts? By recognizing the convergent solutions that different species have developed, we can gain insights into how to protect biodiversity in the face of ongoing environmental change. In a world facing extinction events and climate change, understanding convergence might help us make sense of the past and inform a path forward. As we uncover the mechanisms behind convergent evolution, it becomes clear that the threads of life are intricately woven together, revealing unexpected connections throughout the tapestry of existence. But as we piece together these remarkable stories, new questions arise, urging us to look ever deeper into the mysteries of the natural world. Have you ever wondered what it takes for life to bounce back from the brink of extinction? Throughout Earth's history, mass extinction events have dramatically reshaped ecosystems, wiping out vast numbers of species and paving the way for new ones. From the Permian-Triassic extinction, which claimed about 90% of all species, to the more recent Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction that famously eliminated the dinosaurs, these events hold critical lessons for understanding evolution. Mass extinctions typically occur due to catastrophic changes in the environment. These could range from volcanic eruptions to massive asteroid impacts. The Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction, for instance, is believed to have been triggered by an asteroid impact in present-day Mexico. This impact caused a drastic transformation of the climate, followed by a nuclear winter that drastically reduced sunlight and disrupted food chains worldwide. How does life recover from such devastation? Following these catastrophic events, life often finds a way to regenerate. The aftermath of the Permian-Triassic extinction illustrates this phenomenon. After millions of years of recovery, the Mesozoic era flourished with dinosaurs, emerging as dominant species in their environments. Researchers have identified stages of recovery following mass extinctions. The first phase is characterized by opportunistic species that thrive in newly vacant ecological niches. Within a few million years, more complex ecosystems begin to develop. This illustrates the resilience of life as it adapts to new conditions. But how can we predict the outcomes of current threats to biodiversity? The current epoch, known as the Anthropocene, is marked by human-induced extinction events. Climate change, habitat destruction, and pollution are driving species to extinction at an unprecedented rate. Scientists warn that we could lose 1 million species within decades. By understanding past mass extinctions, researchers aim to glean insights into the resilience of life. The fossil record acts as a window into previous events, offering clues about how species adapt to changing environmental conditions. For instance, studies of ancient coral reefs have shown how these ecosystems responded to significant climate changes. This could help inform conservation strategies to protect today's vulnerable species. The aftermath of extinction is not merely about loss, it's a rebirth. Life evolves, finds new pathways, and surprises us with its adaptability. As we navigate the uncertainties of our time, can we learn to appreciate the lessons of resilience and renewal? The story of life is not just one of survival, it's about a relentless journey onward, seeking to reclaim its place. What defines intelligence? It's a question that has intrigued scientists, philosophers, and curious minds alike for generations. As we delve into the evolutionary history of intelligence, we find a diverse array of adaptations across the animal kingdom. From the problem-solving skills of crows to the social structures of elephants, intelligence manifests in numerous forms. But how did these capabilities evolve? Some researchers propose that intelligence provides adaptive advantages, allowing species to navigate complex environments and social dynamics. Yet, this raises a fundamental question: is intelligence merely a product of evolution, or does it take on a life of its own? When we consider the evolution of human intelligence, it's essential to examine our distant ancestors. Homo habilis, often regarded as the first human-like species, exhibited early signs of tool use, a key marker of cognitive advancement. As we moved through evolutionary history, the development of language, culture, and complex social structures marked significant milestones in human intelligence. The role of environmental pressures in shaping intelligence is a fascinating area of study. For instance, the unpredictable challenges faced by hominins likely spurred advancements in problem-solving skills. This is evident in the archaeological record, where we find innovations in hunting strategies and tool-making techniques. The challenge is understanding how these pressures influenced the trajectory of intelligence. Moreover, we can observe varying forms of intelligence across species. The octopus, for example, exhibits remarkable problem-solving skills and adaptability despite its distant relation to mammals. This raises another question: is intelligence a product of convergent evolution? Multiple lineages may develop similar cognitive abilities as a response to analogous challenges. As we consider the future of intelligence, the rapid advancements in artificial intelligence introduce thrilling possibilities. Can we create machines with human-like intelligence? If so, what implications might this have for our understanding of the mind? The evolution of intelligence is a reflection of life's incredible adaptability. As we explore this fascinating journey, we begin to understand that intelligence is not an endpoint, but rather a continuous evolution, shaped by our environment and experiences. Just as we think we grasp the nature of intelligence, new horizons beckon, urging us to keep questioning and exploring. Genetic drift is one of the lesser-discussed mechanisms of evolution, yet it plays a crucial role in shaping the genetic diversity within populations. As we delve deeper into this subject, we uncover how random events can lead to significant evolutionary changes. Imagine a population of beetles, once thriving in a lush green forest. A sudden disaster, such as a wildfire, destroys most of their habitat. The few beetles that survive and reproduce may not represent the genetic makeup of the original population. This is genetic drift at work, where chance influences which alleles are passed on to future generations. One of the most famous examples of genetic drift occurred on the island of Newfoundland, where researchers have studied a particular species of deer. Over time, the isolated population showed a significant divergence from their mainland counterparts. Genetic analysis revealed that random mutations and the limited gene pool due to the island's geography had caused the deer to develop unique traits, such as a slightly different coat color that allowed them to blend into the island's specific environment. This divergence illustrates the unpredictable nature of genetic drift and its long-term evolutionary implications. Beyond animals, plants also showcase the impacts of genetic drift. Consider the scenario of a flowering plant species that is subjected to a severe environmental change. Those few plants that manage to survive may exhibit variations in flower color or size, which could then become established traits for that population. Over many generations, these changes might lead to the emergence of a new species altogether, a phenomenon known as speciation. Genetic drift is particularly pronounced in small populations, where the effects of random changes can be more substantial. The so-called founder effect exemplifies this concept. When a small number of individuals establish a new population, the genetic diversity may be dramatically reduced. This can lead to increased susceptibility to disease and a diminished ability to adapt to environmental changes. The classic example of the cheetah population illustrates this. After a near-extinction event, the remaining population showed an alarming lack of genetic diversity, leading to health issues like high susceptibility to skin cancer and reproductive difficulties. As we explore these concepts, it is essential to ask ourselves, how does genetic drift fit within the grand narrative of evolution? The interplay of genetic drift with natural selection creates a dynamic evolutionary dance, shaping the life forms we see today. Together, they create a tapestry of life that is both diverse and complex, a culmination of chance and adaptation. This chapter invites us to reconsider our understanding of evolution as not just a matter of survival of the fittest, but also a story of random events and unexpected changes that lead to the incredible biodiversity on our planet today. In the next chapter, we will turn our focus towards a fascinating intersection of evolution and technology. Can artificial intelligence and genetic engineering help us rewrite the rules of evolution? As we stand on the cusp of a new era defined by technology and innovation, one cannot help but ponder the relationship between evolution and human ingenuity. Evolution, shaped by natural processes over millions of years, has been utilized as a blueprint for technological advancement. From artificial intelligence to genetic engineering, we are witnessing a merging of biology and technology that may redefine the very concept of evolution itself. Let's begin with the realm of genetic engineering. The CRISPR-Cas9 technology has revolutionized our ability to edit genes with unprecedented precision. This powerful tool allows scientists to alter DNA sequences and modify gene function. Imagine being able to eliminate genetic disorders, enhance agricultural productivity, or even revive extinct species. The potential is both awe-inspiring and frightening. It raises ethical questions. Should we play the role of nature? Could we create new forms of life? A notable case is the attempt to resurrect the woolly mammoth, a creature that roamed the Earth during the Ice Age. Scientists have been exploring ways to splice DNA from preserved mammoth specimens into the genome of the Asian elephant, a close relative. The goal is to create a hybrid that exhibits mammoth-like traits, thus returning it to its former habitat. This venture not only brings to light the wonder of de-extinction but also reminds us of the complexities and potential consequences of our interventions in the natural order. Equally captivating is the rise of artificial intelligence and its implications for understanding evolution. AI can process vast amounts of data and recognize patterns with astonishing accuracy, allowing scientists to model evolutionary processes and predict outcomes. By simulating evolutionary algorithms, researchers can explore how species might adapt in response to environmental changes or even analyze the evolution of human behavior. An intriguing prospect that blurs the lines between biology and technology. Take, for example, how AI is being utilized in understanding mutations in viruses. The COVID-19 pandemic has shown us, in real time, the rapid evolution of the SARS-CoV-2 virus. AI models help track mutations and predict how they may impact vaccine efficacy. This intersection of evolution, technology, and public health illustrates the crucial role that innovative solutions can play in responding to biological challenges. It suggests a future where we can not only understand evolution but actively participate in it. However, as we dive deeper into these technological advancements, we must tread carefully. The ethical dilemmas associated with genetic manipulation and AI technology are vast. Questions around consent, ecological balance, and the potential for unintended consequences loom large. Are we ready to wield such power? What responsibilities come with the ability to alter life itself? These concerns compel us to reflect on the implications of our actions on the intricate web of life that has evolved over millennia. In our next chapter, we will explore how evolution has shaped human culture, language, and even our understanding of morality. How has the process of evolution influenced our societies and the way we interact with one another? Evolution shapes not only the physical traits of organisms but also the social and cultural behaviors of humans. As we delve into this fascinating territory, we uncover how our evolutionary past has laid the foundation for complex societies, language, and morality. The very way we communicate and connect with one another is intertwined with our evolutionary history. Human language is a remarkable phenomenon that sets us apart from other species. Linguists and anthropologists suggest that language likely evolved as an adaptation to enhance social cohesion among early human groups. Communication was key to survival, sharing knowledge, warning about dangers, and fostering relationships increased the likelihood of group success. The oldest known examples of language date back to around 100,000 years ago. This development, driven by evolutionary pressures, allowed our ancestors to form intricate social networks. One captivating case study involves the emergence of the first writing systems. The Sumerians, around 3200 BCE, developed cuneiform, a series of wedge-shaped marks on clay tablets. This innovation not only preserved information but also enabled complex societal structures to flourish. The ability to document transactions, laws, and stories transformed human civilization and reflects an evolutionary leap in cognitive ability, a product of our lengthy development as a species. Moreover, evolution has played a pivotal role in shaping our moral frameworks. The philosopher David Hume proposed that our moral instincts are a product of evolutionary pressures promoting social cooperation. Research has shown that even non-human animals exhibit behaviors indicative of moral instincts, such as empathy, fairness, and altruism. For instance, studies involving primates demonstrate that they show a preference for equitable outcomes, suggesting that the seeds of morality are deeply rooted in our evolutionary past. As we explore the evolutionary origins of morality, we also encounter questions regarding cultural evolution. Cultural practices, like language or social norms, can evolve rapidly, sometimes outpacing biological evolution. Take, for example, the concept of marriage, which varies widely across cultures and has evolved over time in response to social and economic changes. This interplay between biological and cultural evolution presents a rich tapestry of human experience, illustrating how interconnected our existence truly is. But as we look forward, what challenges lie ahead for our evolving cultures? With globalization and technology, we witness unprecedented cultural exchanges. How will this influence our evolution? Could we see a unification of languages, or will distinct cultures remain alive and well? The future of human culture is bound to be an exciting chapter in the ongoing story of evolution. In the next chapter, we will delve into the intriguing realm of evolutionary psychology. How has evolution sculpted our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors? As we step into the realm of evolutionary psychology, we uncover how our evolutionary past influences our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. This field explores the intricate connection between evolution and the human mind, shedding light on why we think and act the way we do. Imagine a time when our ancestors roamed the earth. The challenges they faced have imprinted upon us psychological traits that persist even today. One of the central tenets of evolutionary psychology is that many of our mental processes have been shaped to handle the specific challenges faced by our ancestors. For instance, the fear of snakes and spiders, common phobias today, may be rooted in our ancestors' need to avoid potentially deadly encounters. Studies have shown that, across cultures, these fears are often prevalent, suggesting a shared evolutionary template that predisposes humans to react in particular ways to threats. Another key aspect of evolutionary psychology is mate selection. The strategies we employ to choose partners often reflect evolutionary imperatives. Research indicates that physical attributes, such as symmetry and health, are subconsciously prioritized because they signal genetic fitness. In a fascinating study, researchers found that women generally prefer men with deeper voices, a trait associated with higher testosterone levels, an indicator that may subconsciously suggest better genes for offspring. Moreover, our social behaviors, such as cooperation and competition, are also influenced by our evolutionary history. Humans are inherently social creatures, and evolutionary pressures have fostered traits that enhance group cohesion. For instance, altruism, the act of selflessly helping others, may have conferred survival advantages in early human societies. By ensuring that others survived, individuals increased the chances of their own genes being passed down, a clear evolutionary benefit. However, our understanding of evolution doesn't just stop at biological impulses. It extends into the realm of culture and learned behavior. Cultural evolution can occur much faster than biological evolution, leading us to create complex societies with intricate social norms. Consider the rapid rise of technology, which transforms our interactions daily. Our brains, shaped by millions of years of evolution, are now processing information in deep and complex ways that our ancestors never anticipated. As we contemplate these insights, it becomes evident that evolutionary psychology offers profound implications for our understanding of human behavior. By recognizing the evolutionary roots of our thoughts and actions, we can better comprehend the challenges we face today. But this also raises the question, how do we reconcile our ancient instincts with the demands of modern life? In the final chapter, we will venture into the future of evolution itself. What lies ahead in this ongoing process? Can we even predict it? As we conclude our exploration into the mysteries of evolution, we turn our gaze toward the horizon. What does the future hold for the ongoing process of evolution? In a world where technology, climate change, and human activity shape ecosystems, the path of evolution is far from straightforward. The question looms, will we continue to see a natural evolutionary process, or are we on the brink of steering our own evolutionary trajectory? Climate change presents one of the most significant challenges to evolution. As habitats shift due to rising temperatures and changing weather patterns, species must adapt or face extinction. A poignant example is the Galapagos finches, which have evolved rapidly in response to changing food sources and environmental pressures. Researchers have observed how beak size changes can occur within just a few generations, a testament to the resilience of life even in the face of dramatic change. Simultaneously, human activities are creating new selection pressures. The introduction of invasive species, habitat destruction, and pollution are altering the ecosystems that species depend on. This raises questions about the future of biodiversity. Some species may adapt and thrive, while others may struggle in the face of rapid change. The concept of survival of the fittest is evolving, as it becomes clear that the capacity to adapt is often more critical than pure strength or size. On a more controversial note, genetic engineering and biotechnology might allow us to influence our own evolution. With advancements in CRISPR technology and synthetic biology, we could potentially design organisms capable of thriving in environments altered by climate change. Imagine engineering plants that can withstand extreme droughts, or creating bacteria to clean up oil spills. This intersection of evolution and human innovation could lead to extraordinary outcomes, but it also carries profound ethical implications. Should we intervene, and if so, to what extent? Furthermore, as humans continue to merge with technology, we might soon redefine what it means to be human. The concept of cyborgs, a blend of organic and machine, could become a reality. Neurotechnology, such as brain-computer interfaces, could enhance cognitive abilities and alter how we interact with the world. Are we on the brink of a new evolutionary phase, where technology becomes an integral part of our biological evolution? As we ponder these questions, we are left with an understanding that evolution is not a linear journey. It is a complex tapestry woven through time, influenced by myriad factors. Whether through natural selection, genetic drift, technological innovation, or cultural evolution, the story of life continues to unfold in unpredictable ways. In conclusion, the mysteries of evolution are numerous, and the implications of our findings ripple through both science and society. As custodians of this planet, we have both the power and responsibility to shape a future that respects the delicate balance of life. What legacy will we leave for future generations? The journey of evolution, the ever-unfolding story of life on Earth, is far from over. In the most surprising corners of our planet, life exists in forms and conditions that seem almost alien. These organisms, known as extremophiles, defy our traditional understanding of biology. They thrive in environments that would be utterly inhospitable to most forms of life. Intense heat, extreme acidity, and high radiation levels are just some of the conditions they face. Take, for instance, the famous case of Thermus aquaticus, a bacterium discovered in the hot springs of Yellowstone National Park. This microorganism flourishes at temperatures exceeding 176 degrees Fahrenheit, 80 degrees Celsius. Its enzymes, particularly Taq polymerase, have become critical for the polymerase chain reaction (PCR) process, which has revolutionized genetic research in medicine. Extremophiles also extend to the cold. In Antarctica, scientists discovered Cycrobacter cryohalolentis, a bacterium that can survive in freezing temperatures and high salinity. Its ability to metabolize in such conditions is a testament to the adaptability of life. But what do these organisms reveal about the resilience of life in the universe? The search for extraterrestrial life often leads scientists to extreme environments on Earth, as they are likely to exist on other planets or moons. For instance, Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, is covered in ice and believed to have a subsurface ocean, potentially harboring life forms similar to Earth's extremophiles. Moreover, the study of extremophiles has profound implications for biotechnology and industry. Researchers are looking to harness their unique adaptations for applications ranging from biofuels to pharmaceuticals. The resilience of extremophiles prompts questions about the limits of life itself, challenging our notions of biology and evolution. As we venture forward in understanding extremophiles, one must ask, are we merely scratching the surface of life's possible forms and capabilities? The next chapter explores another layer of life's unimaginable adaptability, the phenomenon of symbiosis in evolution. The world in which we live is a tapestry of interactions, woven together by the threads of cooperation and mutual benefit. Symbiosis, a biological term describing a close relationship between two different species, plays a crucial role in evolution. Let's dive into the iconic example of lichens. A symbiotic relationship between fungi and algae, lichens can thrive in some of the most barren environments on Earth, including rocky surfaces and deserts. The algae perform photosynthesis, generating food that sustains the fungal partner. In return, the fungus provides protection and moisture retention for the algae. This symbiotic relationship exemplifies how cooperation can lead to survival in extreme conditions. The evolution of lichens has allowed for the colonization of terrestrial environments by other organisms, paving the way for plant life to ultimately flourish. But not all symbiotic relationships are so straightforward. Consider the relationship between clownfish and sea anemones. The clownfish is immune to the anemone's stinging cells, providing the fish with protection while simultaneously allowing the anemone to receive nutrients from the clownfish's waste. This mutually beneficial exchange is a classic example of how evolution can favor cooperative strategies, leading to greater survival rates for both species. Furthermore, symbiotic relationships are not limited to a simple one-on-one dynamic. The human microbiome, for example, is a complex ecosystem of microorganisms living in our bodies. These microbes play a vital role in digestion, immunity, and even mental health. A study published in the journal Nature highlighted that the gut microbiome is influenced by diet and can affect our susceptibility to diseases. This interdependence raises profound questions about individuality and identity in evolution. As species intermingle and share genetic material, it blurs the lines of what we consider to be discrete evolutionary paths. So, as we explore the tapestry of life through the lens of symbiotic relationships, we must ponder how much of what we consider our own evolution is intertwined with others. Next, we will delve into the future of evolution through the lens of genetic engineering and its ethical implications. In the realm of science, few topics ignite as much passion and ethical debate as genetic engineering. The ability to manipulate the very building blocks of life, DNA, opens up a Pandora's box of possibilities and dilemmas. CRISPR technology, a revolutionary gene editing tool, has changed everything we know about genetics. Since its discovery in 2012, CRISPR has been used to edit genes with unprecedented precision. Researchers have corrected genetic defects, developed disease-resistant crops, and even created genetically modified organisms, GMOs, that promise to feed the growing global population. However, the implications of such power are staggering. What happens when we start to edit not only plants and animals but also our own genes? The concept of designer babies, infants genetically engineered to possess preferred traits, has transitioned from science fiction into a topic of serious ethical discussion. In 2018, a Chinese scientist named He Jiankui made headlines after claiming to have created genetically edited babies with immunity to HIV. His actions sparked international outrage and raised vital questions about the ethics of genetic manipulation. The ethical considerations surrounding genetic engineering are profound. How do we determine the line between beneficial and harmful modifications? The potential for playing God looms large as we consider the unforeseen consequences of altering nature's design. There's the risk of unintended genetic mutations, which could lead to new diseases or ecological disruptions. Moreover, the potential for inequality becomes apparent. Who has access to genetic enhancements, and who will be left behind? The prospect of creating a genetic divide could exacerbate existing social inequalities, leading to a world where only the wealthy can afford genetic upgrades. As we navigate the uncharted waters of genetic engineering, one question remains pivotal. In our quest to control evolution, are we ready for the responsibilities that come with it? As we conclude our exploration, we reflect on humanity's role in evolution and the vast mysteries that remain. For over a century, paleontologists have been obsessed with the idea of missing links, the transitional fossils that could bridge the gap between major evolutionary stages. This quest is not merely academic, it has profound implications for our understanding of human evolution. Imagine a time over 6 million years ago when our ancestors began to diverge from the common lineage shared with chimpanzees. This divergence set the stage for a series of transformations that would lead to the emergence of Homo sapiens. Despite numerous finds, the quest for definitive connections remains elusive. Take, for example, the famous fossils of Australopithecus afarensis, famously known as Lucy. Discovered in 1974 in Ethiopia, Lucy offered insights into bipedalism yet posed further questions about our ancestry. How did she relate to later hominins like Homo habilis or Homo erectus? In the 2010s, researchers unearthed a series of striking fossils from the Afar region that hinted at a more complex evolutionary tree than initially thought. These findings suggested multiple hominin species coexisted and interacted, creating a web of evolutionary paths rather than a straight line. Later discoveries, such as the Denisovans, an ancient group of humans identified from a single pinky bone, complicated this narrative even further. Genetic analyses revealed that these archaic humans interbred with both Neanderthals and modern humans, contributing to our genome. This wasn't merely an evolutionary dead end, it was part of a dynamic landscape of human evolution. So, when we think about missing links, it's essential to recognize that they aren't simply gaps in the fossil record. They represent a complex interplay of species that geologists and biologists are only beginning to understand. As researchers continue to explore, the question remains, what new technologies or discoveries might finally illuminate this murky past? With advancements in paleogenomics and 3D imaging, the next generation of scientists may yet find the answers we've been searching for. In the grand narrative of evolution, one of the most vital and often overlooked players is the microbial world. Microbes have existed for billions of years, alongside every major life form on Earth. They are not just our distant cousins, they are integral to our survival, influencing everything from digestion to our immune system. However, as we delve into the evolutionary story of these microorganisms, we unveil a darker narrative, a relentless arms race between pathogens and hosts. This ongoing battle has defined our evolutionary journey. One of the most significant examples is the evolution of antibiotic resistance. In the early 20th century, penicillin heralded a new era in medicine, saving millions of lives. Yet, within decades, bacteria adapted, rendering this miracle drug less effective. Take the case of Staphylococcus aureus, or MRSA. Once a common skin bacterium, it evolved into a formidable foe, resistant to multiple antibiotics. The rise of MRSA brings to light how quickly evolutionary pressures can shift, especially in response to human activity. Overprescription of antibiotics has provided fertile ground for resistant strains. But it's not just about human error. Natural selection favors those microbes that survive, reflecting a dizzying pace of evolution. Moreover, viruses, often considered the simplest form of life, have adapted in ways that blur the lines of their existence. HIV, the virus that leads to AIDS, has proven to be one of the most pernicious. It mutates rapidly, evading the immune system and rendering treatment a constant challenge for medical science. The implications of this are profound. Understanding the evolutionary strategies of pathogens can illuminate how we might combat them. Researchers are exploring vaccines that harness the body's own evolutionary responses, teaching the immune system to recognize and respond to pathogens more effectively. The battle against microbial disease reveals how evolution is not merely a historical account, it's an ongoing process that demands our attention. What does this mean for our future? As we continue to alter our environment and expose ourselves to new diseases, the evolutionary game is only just beginning. The next chapter in this saga could redefine our understanding of health and disease, challenging us to adapt alongside these ever-evolving microorganisms. When we think of evolution, we often envision biological changes, but another dimension is equally compelling: cultural evolution. This concept refers to how human cultures develop, adapt, and change over time, influencing and being influenced by biological evolution. Cultural evolution is not merely a backdrop, it is a driving force that has shaped human societies. It encompasses everything from language and art to social norms and technological advancements. For instance, the invention of the wheel or the printing press not only transformed technology but also altered human behavior and societal structures. How did these innovations affect our evolutionary trajectory? One striking example is the role of agriculture in shaping human evolution. When humans transitioned from foraging to farming around 10,000 years ago, it led to increased population densities and the rise of complex societies. This agricultural revolution had profound impacts on human biology, including changes in dental structure and disease resistance. Additionally, research shows that the spread of agriculture created new selective pressures, impacting genes associated with lactose tolerance and disease resistance. Cultural practices became intertwined with our biological evolution, illustrating a dynamic relationship often overlooked in traditional evolutionary narratives. Moreover, the rise of digital culture presents new and unprecedented challenges and opportunities. As we navigate this new landscape, ideas propagate and evolve at lightning speed, creating cultural phenomena that influence behavior, thought, and even genetics. Can we consider the internet a new stage in our evolutionary journey? As we contemplate the future, we may find ourselves dealing with unprecedented challenges linked to cultural evolution, such as misinformation and societal polarization. Our ability to adapt culturally can either be our greatest asset or our most significant vulnerability. What steps will we take to ensure that cultural evolution serves as a force for unity rather than division? Cultural evolution may serve as a mirror reflecting our biological evolution. In understanding it, we gain insight into not only where we came from but also where we are headed as a species. The theory of evolution has always been accompanied by an intriguing enigma: the search for missing links. These are species that represent transitional forms in the evolutionary chain, showcasing the gradual changes that occur over vast periods of time. Perhaps the most famous example is that of Archaeopteryx, the feathered dinosaur that offers an extraordinary glimpse into the evolutionary journey from reptiles to birds. This fossil, discovered in Bavaria in 1861, dates back to about 150 million years ago. It boasts characteristics of both birds, like feathers and wings, and reptiles, such as a long tail and sharp teeth. Such discoveries reignite discussions about how interconnected all life on Earth truly is. We are often left with more questions than answers. Continuing this line of thought, the discovery of Tiktaalik, a fish-like creature that walked the Earth approximately 375 million years ago, adds another layer to our understanding of evolution. This fascinating specimen showcases features that straddle both aquatic and terrestrial life, fins that could support its weight on land and a neck that allowed it to move its head independently, marking a pivotal moment in the transition from water to land. What other missing links await discovery? Scientists are also investigating the enigmatic lineage between humans and our closest relatives, the Neanderthals. Although we have evidence of Neanderthals as a distinct species, recent studies suggest they interbred with early Homo sapiens, complicating the narrative of human evolution. Analyzing DNA samples has revealed that many modern humans carry a small percentage of Neanderthal DNA, a testament to the intertwined destinies of our species. This begs the question, what does it mean to be human? Are we merely the product of our direct ancestors, or are we an amalgamation of various evolutionary branches? The ongoing quest for these missing links not only captivates scientists but also the general public. Each new fossil discovery tells a part of our story that connects us to the greater tapestry of life. As we uncover more about our past, we start to truly understand our place in the world and how evolution shapes everything around us. But will we ever find all the missing links, or will some remain forever shrouded in mystery? In the vast narrative of evolution, we often overlook one vital component, the role of disease. Microbes, from bacteria to viruses, have shaped the course of life on Earth and influenced human evolution in ways we are still beginning to unravel. For instance, the Black Death, which swept through Europe in the 14th century, killed an estimated 25 million people, about one-third of the continent's population at that time. This cataclysmic event altered social structures and arguably accelerated the advancement of medicine and public health. Fast forward to the 20th century, where the discovery of penicillin by Alexander Fleming in 1928 marked a revolutionary turning point in our battle against infectious diseases. It not only saved countless lives but also changed the evolutionary dynamics between humans and pathogens. Bacteria that once succumbed to this antibiotic began to evolve, creating a new class of resistant strains that pose significant challenges today. As we overuse antibiotics and create conditions conducive to their survival, we inadvertently fuel a new evolutionary arms race. Moreover, the COVID-19 pandemic has provided spectacular insight into the rapid evolution of viruses. SARS-CoV-2, the virus behind COVID-19, mutated quickly, leading to new variants that challenged our healthcare systems and understanding of disease management. The global response to COVID-19 highlighted how interconnected humanity is, showcasing the need for a coordinated approach to tackle diseases that transcend borders. In examining these cases, we can assess how evolution works in real time. The relationship between humans and microbes is not merely one of conflict, it's a complex dance that has dictated our past and will shape our future. As we explore this intricate relationship further, we must ask ourselves, how will we adapt to the ever-evolving landscape of diseases? Are we prepared for what lies ahead? Evolution is not confined to biology alone, it permeates the realms of culture and ideas. Cultural evolution describes how human societies evolve through ideas, symbols, and shared practices. From the early days of cave painting to the advent of the Internet, our cultural trajectory has been astounding. Each new generation builds upon the ideas and traditions of the past, refining and reshaping them to fit contemporary contexts. One of the most iconic examples is the invention of writing, which revolutionized communication and information sharing. The Sumerians, around 3200 BCE, developed cuneiform writing, which marked a turning point in human society. This innovation not only helped preserve knowledge but also facilitated the rise of complex societies, commerce, and governance. The power of written language continues to shape culture, influencing everything from law to literature. Fast-forwarding to modern times, we see cultural evolution manifest through technology. The Internet has allowed for unprecedented levels of connectivity, enabling the rapid spread of ideas. Memes, social movements, and digital art redefine cultural norms in real time. In this hyper-connected world, ideas mutate and evolve with astonishing speed, similar to biological evolution. But what happens when these ideas conflict? Cultural evolution can lead to both unification and division. The clash of different belief systems often sparks debates, fostering a cultural landscape that's vibrant but also fraught with tension. We are compelled to ask, will humanity unite through shared ideas, or will cultural evolution lead us to greater division? Communication is a cornerstone of societal development, not just for humans, but for countless species across the planet. The evolution of animal communication is a fascinating study that reveals how life on Earth has adapted to survive in complex environments. From the simple chirps and chattering of birds to the intricate dances of bees, animal communication has evolved in remarkable ways. Consider the case of the honeybee. When a forager bee discovers a rich source of nectar, it performs what is known as the waggle dance. This dance encodes information about the direction and distance of the food source, essentially providing a map for its companions. Scientists have discovered that this behavior not only helps bees find food but also plays a critical role in improving the efficiency of their colonies. Similarly, dolphins exhibit complex social structures and communication methods. They use a series of clicks, whistles, and body language to convey messages and emotions. A recent study published in the journal Animal Cognition revealed that dolphins can even recognize themselves in mirrors, indicating a level of self-awareness previously thought to be exclusive to humans and great apes. But why does communication matter in evolution? The ability to convey information can enhance survival. Species that develop more effective communication methods often have a better chance of succeeding in their environment. For example, when predators use elaborate displays or calls to warn their young, they increase the survival rate of their offspring. This idea, known as the social brain hypothesis, postulates that as social structures became more complex, so too did the communication methods required to navigate those structures. Another intriguing aspect is the role of environmental challenges on communication evolution. In dense forests, where visual communication might be limited, species often rely more on auditory signals. On the other hand, in open spaces like savannas, visual signals become crucial. This adaptability showcases the profound relationship between an animal's habitat and its communicative evolution. The study of animal communication is not only about understanding the language of animals but also about uncovering our own evolutionary past. By analyzing how other species have developed their communication systems, we can glean insights into the evolutionary pressures that shaped our own language capabilities. Every animal has a story to share through its communication methods. Each sound, gesture, or dance holds the secrets of survival and adaptation. In the grand tapestry of evolution, communication is one of the threads that bind us all, from the smallest insects to the largest mammals. But as we look forward, one question remains: how will communication continue to evolve as our environment changes? Plants play a crucial role in the evolution of life on Earth, creating the very foundation of most ecosystems. From their beginnings as simple, unicellular organisms to the vast array of multicellular structures we see today, plant evolution reveals remarkable stories of resilience and adaptation. Let's dive into the early days of plant life, around 450 million years ago. It was during this time that the first land plants began to emerge. These pioneering organisms faced numerous hurdles. Without soil, they had to anchor themselves using specialized structures. They developed systems to absorb water and nutrients directly from the atmosphere, leading to significant adaptations. Fast forward to the evolution of flowering plants, or angiosperms, which began appearing around 140 million years ago. This major evolutionary leap allowed plants to attract pollinators with their vibrant colors and enticing scents, leading to more efficient reproduction methods. A study of fossil records reveals that flowering plants exploded in diversity after the decline of the dinosaurs. This evolutionary strategy not only aided their survival but also changed the entire landscape of ecosystems around the world. Consider the example of the coevolution of flowering plants and their pollinators, such as bees and butterflies. This mutual relationship showcases a perfect balance. Plants provide nectar for energy, while pollinators facilitate reproduction by transferring pollen. This interplay has resulted in an astonishing variety of shapes, sizes, and colors in flowers, all adapted to attract specific pollinators. Moreover, the evolution of plants has not only shaped biodiversity but has significantly influenced the Earth's atmosphere. A well-documented case is the Great Oxygenation Event, approximately 2.4 billion years ago. Early photosynthetic organisms, primarily cyanobacteria, produced oxygen as a byproduct, gradually transforming our planet's atmosphere and paving the way for aerobic life. This event underscores the critical role of plants in maintaining the delicate balance of our ecosystem. Fast forward to the current era, where plants are again evolving in response to climate change. As temperatures rise and precipitation patterns shift, we are witnessing changes in flowering times, migration, and even adaptations in physiology. Studies have shown that certain species are already moving towards higher altitudes or latitudes in search of favorable conditions. The evolution of plant life is a testament to resilience and adaptability. It reveals how interconnected life forms are with their environment, each influencing the other's evolution in a complex web of existence. But as we contemplate the challenges imposed by climate change, one pressing question looms: how will the next chapter in plant evolution unfold? Social behavior is often viewed as a fundamental aspect of animal life, but its evolution is riddled with complexities and fascinating mysteries. From the cooperative hunting strategies seen in wolves to the intricate societies of ants, social behavior has taken countless forms throughout the animal kingdom. One striking example is the evolution of cooperation among species. The famous biologist John Maynard Smith and his colleagues explored this phenomenon through the lens of game theory, particularly the concept of the prisoner's dilemma. This theory illustrates how cooperation can lead to mutual benefits despite the risks involved. In nature, many social species, such as meerkats and dolphins, display behaviors that favor group living, enhancing survival odds. Ants present a remarkable case study in social behavior. Their complex societies are built around a strict division of labor, where different castes perform specific roles, from foragers to soldiers to reproductive individuals. The intricate social structures of ant colonies reveal an evolutionary strategy that maximizes efficiency and survival. Remarkably, some species have evolved to engage in farming, cultivating fungi by feeding it organic material, showcasing a pioneering form of agriculture long before humans ever did. Furthermore, social behavior is not limited to cooperation, it also encompasses competition. In bird species, competition for mates can drive remarkable transformations in behaviors and physical traits. Male peacocks, with their striking plumage, compete for female attention. Studies suggest that these extravagant displays are not just for show, they signal genetic fitness, a crucial factor in mate selection. The emergence of language in human social behavior marks a significant evolutionary milestone, facilitating complex communication and cooperation. The origin of human language has long mystified scientists, with theories proposing that it developed from gestural communication among early hominins. The development of syntax and grammar allowed for more detailed expression of thoughts, cementing social bonds and enhancing group cohesion. As we examine our own social behaviors, we must also consider their roots. Cultural evolution parallels biological evolution, with ideas and traditions passing through generations, often influenced by social dynamics. The ways in which societies adapt to changing environments, whether through technology or social structure, highlight the interconnectedness of evolution and culture. Ultimately, the evolution of social behavior is a testament to the complex interplay between cooperation and competition, survival and adaptation. As we continue to unravel these mysteries, one question remains: how will our understanding of social behavior shape our future interactions in an ever-changing world? Communication is the cornerstone of social behavior in the animal kingdom. From the sophisticated songs of birds to the intricate dances of bees, the ways animals convey messages are as varied as the species themselves. One of the most fascinating aspects of this evolution is how communication methods have developed alongside behavioral and environmental changes. Consider the case of the honeybee. These remarkable insects use a complex system of dances to inform fellow bees about the location of food sources. Through a series of movements, known as the waggle dance, bees can communicate the direction and distance to resources. This phenomenon isn't isolated. Various animals exhibit unique forms of communication driven by evolutionary pressures. For instance, dolphins have been documented using a series of clicks and whistles that they seem to understand as a form of language. Their social structures rely heavily on these forms of communication, underlining the importance of connection in their survival. But the evolution of communication isn't merely a matter of necessity, it is also a tale of adaptability. Take the case of urban-dwelling birds. Species like the rock dove have adapted their calls to be heard over the noise of city life. Research shows that they've shifted the pitch and length of their coos, demonstrating a remarkable ability to evolve communication strategies in response to changing environments. Humans, too, have dramatically altered their communication methods. The advent of technology has influenced not just what we say, but how we perceive dialogue and interaction. The rise of social media, for example, has transformed conversations into quick exchanges marked by emojis and abbreviations. This poses a fascinating question. As communication evolves, how do we ensure that messages retain their intended meaning? As we delve deeper into the evolution of communication across species, we uncover staggering variations in complexity. The vocal mimicry of the lyrebird can imitate laser sounds, camera clicks, and chainsaws, showcasing the adaptability of animal communication. This ability might serve not only to impress mates but also to confuse predators or rivals. Yet, the evolution of communication is not solely about complexity but also about the relationships it fosters. Many animal species, from elephants to wolves, rely on intricate social structures that are maintained through their ability to communicate effectively. This leads us to ponder the role of emotion in communication. Can animals express empathy, and how does that tie into their evolutionary past? As we explore these questions, it's essential to consider the implications of communication for survival. In the wild, effective communication can mean the difference between life and death. The alarm calls of prairie dogs alert their colonies to danger, while the social bonds formed through grooming in chimpanzees strengthen group cohesion. The journey through the evolution of communication reveals how interconnected survival, social structures, and adaptability are. As we ponder our own communication methods, we must also reflect on the lessons we can learn from nature. Understanding the past can offer insights into future communication trends and challenges. So, what does the future hold for animal communication in an ever-evolving landscape? Will increased urbanization challenge the language of wildlife? Will technology create new forms of communication among animals? As we conclude this chapter, we leave with a thought: the mystery of communication is a vast expanse that spans across time and species. In the grand tapestry of evolution, every thread, every call, song, or gesture tells a story of connection and survival, urging us to reflect on how we communicate with one another, both human and animal alike. Plants have been Earth's steadfast companions for millions of years, yet their evolution remains cloaked in mystery. From ancient algae to towering redwoods, the journey of plant life reflects the environmental upheavals that shaped our planet. The origins of land plants can be traced back to simple green algae, which made the monumental leap onto land around 470 million years ago. This transition was not merely a matter of moving to a new habitat, it demanded adaptation to a host of challenges, dealing with gravity, sunlight exposure, and moisture retention. One key adaptation was the development of cuticles, which are waxy layers that prevent water loss. This innovation allowed plants to thrive in environments that were once inhospitable. However, the story didn't end there. The emergence of vascular systems, akin to the circulatory systems in animals, enabled plants to transport nutrients and water from their roots to their leaves, allowing for greater height and complexity. As we move through geological epochs, we encounter the age of ferns, then the rise of gymnosperms and finally, angiosperms, flowering plants. Each stage of evolution offered its own set of strategies for survival and reproduction. Angiosperms, in particular, experienced a rapid radiation about 140 million years ago, an event sometimes dubbed the Cretaceous terrestrial revolution. They developed intricate relationships with pollinators like bees and birds, fundamentally reshaping ecosystems. Yet, the evolution of plant life is not solely defined by externally visible characteristics. It also involves fascinating chemical innovations. Take the example of the production of secondary metabolites like alkaloids, which serve as defense mechanisms against herbivores. Plants like tobacco and poppy produce these toxic compounds to deter pests, showcasing an arms race of evolution between flora and fauna. Modern research is unveiling the complexity of plant interaction on a community level as well. The phenomenon known as allelopathy shows how some plants release chemicals that inhibit the growth of competitors. This strategy illustrates how plants have adapted not only to survive but to dominate ecosystems. Moreover, we can't overlook the role of mycorrhizal fungi in plant evolution. These symbiotic relationships with roots have allowed plants to access nutrients in exchange for carbohydrates, creating a mutualistic partnership that has contributed significantly to plant diversity. As we delve into the present-day implications of plant evolution, we must confront the pressing challenges posed by climate change. The adaptability of plant species can be tested under various conditions, from extreme temperatures to altered precipitation patterns. Conservation efforts are becoming increasingly vital as we see more plant species facing extinction. Understanding the evolutionary history of plant life can inform these efforts